I think we should nickname this garage the Casual Bike Shop. There are an awful lot of bikes out here. Added 2 more to the quiver with the commuter bike and the old mountain bike. The new mountain bike sitting right there, ready to go. Get things going. So I'm going to give you more or less a walkthrough of me taking apart the bike, which you'll just reverse that and put it back together. It should be as simple as that. Handle in the lock position, open, and then when it's all the way down, unlock to the front, and now it just comes right out. So when you go back in, I know you got this now. Should be that easy. Don't forget this little disc thingy, right? So can't believe we still have this part after a year, but that's the spacer. When you take it out, do not squeeze the handle because of course that'll lock up your hydraulics and you won't be able to get your wheel in. So take out the spacer, put in your wheel, save the thingy. Okay, from the other angle, there's the upline. The upline is going straight up toward the handlebars. You can see the little key thingy there is vertical. It's aligned up with that, with the upline. So, sliding it in. Oops, I'm leaning on it too much. There we go. Sliding it in. I'm grabbing this little silver thing to get the hex face of that lined up. And you see there's still a little space there, so give this a little chance to line up. There it is. So that means the slit is locked in on the other side. So now with this open text facing me, I turn this a 1/4 turn clockwise, so that's rotating like that. That locks the key on the other side, and then right as you get about to here, you'll feel the pressure on that quick release tightening up, and now you know it's tight. And I did have to try this 7 times to get it right, so it seems so simple when you do it, but you and I have both done it wrong a lot of times, so I'll reverse that. Open it, 1/4 turn counterclockwise. Now it's fingertip loose. That comes right out. That's it. Alright, so this is a quick orientation on how the headset came apart and it's going to go back together again. So your fork is going to fit right up into the bottom of the frame. It has this nice, looks like steel kind of bushing that's going to stay right up against the frame right here. And then you're going to slip the neck of the fork up through the headset and out here. And from the top all of these parts right here in this order go in. So first this one with the shiny brass side facing the top. Then this one, which is like a dust cover. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 spacers. Doesn't really matter the order, they just stack right up on the neck there. And then this is the dust cap with the 4mm hex nut on top. And that's gonna hold all that stacked together. And when you see the segment about the tightening the headset, this will all make more sense. So what I recommend for putting your fork and handlebars back together is have a place where, you know, get the wheel on, and you can just jam it in between 2 trash cans or posts on your deck or something, or hold it so that front wheel is straight. And what you're going to do is these 2 little clamps right here clamp onto this. And this does 2 things. It's really important that this is adjusted right, because not only does it hold the fork in the frame, right? So if I lifted the frame right now, the fork would just fall forward. But it keeps your handlebars straight, but it also keeps this whole headset tight. So there's tension. Basically, there's tension forcing this down, keeping this fork held up in here into the front of the frame. If this is even loose by a 1/2 millimeter, like these spacers here, if those are loose at all, then your headset, this is going to sound rattly. And there's going to be this play action here where this kind of wiggles front to back, like if you're holding a brake tight. You don't want any slop in that. It's got to be so the handlebars are pushed down firmly on top of these spacers. These don't thread. And then when we put the clamp on, that clamp is going to be holding this whole headset together. So I'm going to do that. So I've got the handlebars and the clamp is loosened up. So that just slides down. All right, so the handlebars are loose now on the fork. And use one eye to line it up so that you got a nice straight line. Your handlebars are lined up over your wheel, obviously. And then what I recommend doing is put the dust cap on. So that's this. This dust cap does 2 things. It keeps the dust out, but it also gives you a little guide of tension. So what I do is I hold the front brake, and I can feel like there's a little bit of rocking motion right here in the headset, and I'll keep turning this dust cap tighter, not cranking it because it's just a tiny little bolt on there, but until it's firm, like, you know, two finger firm. So the handlebars feel snug, and I'm holding the front brake and I'm rocking the bike front to back, and there's absolutely no play in here. There's no, you know, kind of like tipping, wiggling motion in there. Then the headset is adjusted right. So this is tightened just enough to kind of clamp this together, and for you to adjust the steering to the way, you know, you expect it to be, nice and straight. And then when all that is set, that's when you come in on these little 4mm Allen keys here, tighten that up, and then the other one's on the other side, tighten that up. And these you want really tight. You know, don't snap it off, but it should be good enough so that, you know, your handlebars are firmly attached. So for the handlebars, the handlebar is basically clamped to the fork post that's running up and down there. And the way it's clamped is with these two little hex nuts. This is a 4mm wrench, so I'm including that as well. And then there's this cover on the top. The cover has the same wrench size. Let me get the light on it. So for pedals, I included the wrench. It's a 6mm Allen key. There is a left and a right pedal, and the threading is different on both, so you're definitely going to want to make sure you have the left and right pedals. I'll double check here, but there's usually a marking on the pedal. I don't see it. We'll look and see if it's stamped on the end. There's another trick I'll show you, but the Allen wrench is on the inside here, and these things, when you put them back on and grease the threads a little bit, you want to tighten these up as tight as you can get them. So right hand side of the bike is right hand thread, so that's normal threading like you would expect on any bolt or screw that you use. And once it's loose, which I've already loosened it up here, it's pretty easy to turn. Same deal on the left, only it's a left-hand thread, so instead of righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it's right-hand loosens. So it's opposite of what you think, which is always difficult to visualize, but just think the right way and then turn it the opposite way.